What's up, everybody? We got our third episode of Alien Earth this week, and let's get right into this episode. This was another episode where the title card gives it just a good start because, and I don't remember if they did this for episode 2 with the recapping episode 1. Maybe they did and I just skipped it or just missed it, but using the title card, which was already just cool in and of itself in episode 1, as the episode recap 2 now that we're into the season, it rocks. It's such a simple thing, but to me, avoiding the title card and a recap and sometimes other things on all these streaming services is just great in the streaming era. Getting to the episode itself, though, we got one of my favorite xenomorph attacks yet from this show, maybe from the franchise too. It's up there with some of the movie ones. I'm not sure it's quite as good, though. Not because of anything that the Xeno does necessarily, but because of Marcy, Wendy, whatever you're calling her, hooking that thing like a bass in a pond. That was awesome. The only negative there, though, the fight, it does take her and Hermit, more so Hermit, out of the episode, at least most of the episode, and that's not ideal for me. However, with the brother-sister storyline shifting to the back of this episode, we get more time for the cyborg and the synthetic of either company, Wayland Utani and then Prodigy, Morrow and Kirsch, to shine. Morrow's the fascinating one here to me because he seems so close to defecting from the Wayland Utani programming, but every single time he gets even relatively close, like with the Xeno attack when his crew is getting killed, and then here in this episode that he's getting close, it just kicks back into high gear and he's all Wayland Utani. Regardless, I think he and Kirsch will have a great rivalry deep into this season. I'm not so sure Neverland Ranch will last that deep into this season, though. It feels like that place is cooked. I mean, every place that specimens are brought back to is cooked in this franchise, let's be real, especially when you're bringing those eggs back. And then you also have the fact that Morrow put some sort of tag on one of the kids' necks. I forget the name of the kid, but he knows where they are now, I believe. So that's another factor there. Maybe it will see them fight, but either way, I think the aliens are going to run through this place as it's a great demonstration of the unbelievable greed and shady practices that these mega corporations live by. Nothing is ever enough for them. With that being said, Timothy Oliphant's Kirsch going killer robot to take out Boy Cavalier would make this the greatest show to ever exist. Not really. I'm not even totally sold on this show quite yet after 3 episodes, if I'm being honest with you, but the young trillionaire, he's one part I'm sold on, and he's the ultimate douchebag, and I can't wait to see his inevitable demise to a facehugger. But at the end of the day, the final stretch in this episode brought a ton of questions for me in a good way. They're born out of intrigue and wanting to know what's going down with that in the show, but I've got about 3 or 4 here. So what happened to this ginger girl? Is it the trauma of going out on a mission that she shouldn't have been, considering she's a kid despite the synthetic body? Then when she's walking around the halls, again, we see this in every episode so far. What does Boy Cavalier have behind that wall that's always being worked on? Like, is it an alien that allowed him to create these hybrids? That does kind of feel possible. And then also, why do we keep seeing that part of the building? I mean, like I said, we've seen it in every episode so far. It feels like there's some sort of hidden lab back there, maybe. And then finally, why is Wendy on the same frequency as the aliens? That's kind of what put me on that path of secret lab and aliens hybrids connected, but it feels like it ties back to that wall that maybe these hybrids and the aliens are connected, but who knows? Overall, I thought that was just an okay episode following that strong start in the 2 episode premiere last week. That Wendy Marcy development here in episode 3 is definitely interesting, but it feels like, regardless of where that part of the show goes, the show as a whole is headed in one direction. Kirsch and Morrow, evil robots, then Prodigy, failing as a company with Wayland Utani, probably coming back out on top, and then the kids saving the world. It could work. I'm not saying it's not gonna, but I don't know that I'm necessarily excited about the idea. And so that's going to do it for my review of the 3rd episode from Alien Earth. Next week will mark the halfway point for season 1, so hopefully we get a big episode with some answers, but let me know what you thought of episode 3 down in the comments below. Make sure you have a great day.